Hello.
Welcome.
Hey, fam bam.
Welcome.
Again, back to where the party is. We got one more.
It's here.
We've got an extra little story to chat through on it's not what you meant, it's just how you said it.
Just say it right.
I, 30 female, am hurt by something my husband, 33 male, said in the name of honesty. With bunny ears, honesty.
When you say bunny ears, it sounds like you're trying to do it like
With
behind
bunny
your
ears.
head.
Well, it's not
Quotation
quotations.
marks.
I truly love my husband and he loves me. I'm 30 and he's 33. Oh. We've been together for 5
Why'd
years.
you make
I
that
wanted
noise?
to because it was rhymed. It sounded like a poem. I truly love my husband and he loves me. I'm 30 and he is 33. We've been together
really cool.
for 5 years. I just made that up.
Okay, good.
He's one of those people who prides himself on honesty. Most of the time it's good. Sometimes it's not. It hasn't been anything like this so far. It's more like I kind of know where to toe the line about this might hurt his feelings and he doesn't. Up until now, it's been minor. But his whole point is always, I have to be honest with you. I have to tell you everything. Well, if I had a thought that would hurt him and have literally no bearing in our life, I'd never tell him. I don't get the point. Tonight we're having a few drinks and I was getting ready for us to put ornaments on the tree. He's been sick lately, so he's been staying at home. Just before I got up to get the ornaments, he said, "Can I tell you something stupid? It's probably going to make you angry." I myself was honest and said, "Well, we're about to do something nice, so if you think it's going to make me angry, maybe not. But that's up to you. Use your discretion." He proceeded to tell me, "The last few days when I went to call for you when you were at work, I called out for my super toxic first real long-term girlfriend who gave me a lot of issues." That's the parentheses.
Okay.
So he's sick at home and he's been calling out for his wife while she's been at work in his kind of delirium. And instead of calling out her name, he's been calling out his toxic ex-girlfriend's name. Okay, I'm not mad that happened. We all feel weird when we're sick, but why tell me that, especially right before something that is supposed to be a nice moment? It's also worth noting he put up all his ornaments first, and when it came time for me to put mine up, this is when he busted out this information. When I said yes, it had upset me. He acted like I'd done something to him. It just feels like a super strange thing to confess out of nowhere since she was a demon and they haven't spoken in 10 years. To be fair, I'm not worried he wants her again. I'm not jealous, but why bust out this obviously hurtful information on me for no reason? So my conversation for this one is, where is the line of honesty? Because obviously you want to be honest with your partner, but is that a necessary honesty? I don't know. I have a confession to make that might make you angry.
Let me put this down.
I'm going to tell you. For the first year of our relationship when we were dating, so many times when I went to say your name, the wrong name popped into my head. And I didn't say it.
Whose name?
Heath Ledger.
No. Really?
No. No, I hadn't said that name for a long time because he died. No, not Heath Ledger. Somebody else's name.
Whose name?
Someone who I had just previously dated. You can beat him up if you want.
I actually don't care.
No, I know. But so I never told you that in the time.
I would have cared.
It would have been a weird thing to hear.
Well, no, it would have been very weird, but I would have been super jealous. I would have been like, no, because that didn't end well. Do you know what I mean?
No,
so it's not
and
just,
it wasn't a
healthy.
relationship.
Exactly. So it would feel like I'm getting compared, and that would throw me a lot.
And I think, like, I did think about, like, should I tell him this? Because I'm scared it's going to actually come out sometime, which I don't think it ever did. But it wasn't because I was thinking of that person. It was because my habit of referring to my partner for years before that had been somebody else's name. And so in the moments when you're not, you know how you say babe and it just comes out? It's that kind of repetitive
sometimes
thing.
accidentally come on the mum babe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, that's awkward. And it's just like it's a subconscious repetitive name that you're calling. And so it was the same sort of like filling the gap. I obviously knew you weren't him. I obviously didn't want you to be him. But I also knew that if I said to you, oh, I keep going to call you beep, then you would have been like, beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Don't have to swear at me, but anyway.
Then you would have, like, that wouldn't have felt nice. And so I don't think I was dishonest in that, because I don't think it's a secret that I did just say I had to confess something, but it's not.
No, I don't think so. I think I think that would have done more damage than good. I think that would have done more hurt than help at that stage. Yeah. I think if you were genuinely struggling with thoughts of your ex-partner, that's a different story.
That's a totally different thing. When
you're accidentally just going into the rhythm of using a name that you've used that refers to your partner, that's very different again. Yeah. I personally find that very minor. I just don't think you need to share it.
Yeah.
I feel like we've had another topic that was heavier on your heart that you brought up to me, and I got very offended by it.
Yeah.
But that I actually think was actually good for us. As hard as it was for me to hear it, because I did get offended by it, it did hurt me. And it did feel like you were just trying to get something off your chest, because at the end of the day, there's nothing I could have done about it. Like, what did you want me to do about it, you know? But I still think it was a necessary
conversation
to have.
Because of the place it was taking in my head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe we could have done it better. I don't know how.
And I think we'll actually talk about that conversation. That's a totally different topic, just to be really clear. Like, it's not got anything to do with my previous relationship.
No. This is to do with
totally different.
Yeah.
We'll actually, I think, discuss that conversation at some stage.
Yeah.
Probably.
We'll do it in another Patreon one for sure. But anyway, my point is that I think we could have done it differently. I think it was still necessary to have. I don't think all conversations have to be easy.
No.
At the end of the day, majority of them won't be, but they're still important to me. The first scenario you mentioned about calling me your partner's name, you didn't need to mention that to me. That's something that's just a slip of the tongue. It's just a routine, a habit, whatever else.
It wasn't keeping or anything like that.
It wasn't, yeah. And that's where I'm like, I just don't think you should have told me. I think that would have hurt me. Yeah. I wouldn't have been able to read between the lines because we were still getting, early days. Yeah. And that would have made me question things.
Yeah. And I think it's a similar thing in this situation. I don't think him going to call her name out in his fever dream is necessarily an indication of anything, unless she thought there was something else going on.
I sleep talk, and I feel like I've brought up one of my exes in my sleep once.
I remember one time, it wasn't an ex, it was someone we were living with. That sounds really strange.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, Rachel, if you're listening, it was you. In the middle of your sleep, you said, who's this? Is it Rachel? Yeah, and I was like, who's Rachel? I knew who Rachel was.
The person we're living with, yeah.
And he wasn't being
share house.
He wasn't being
sharing a house. Yeah. I just think that's.
I don't remember an ex's name at all. But if you remember that, maybe I'm angry.
I think it was. I think it was just I mentioned a name and we made a joke about it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I always listen very closely to your sleep talk, just in case some damning evidence comes out.
I feel so vulnerable. There's nothing I can do about that.
So clearly in his sleep, so clearly.
Another topic, another day.
Anyway, but in this situation, I don't think he did anything wrong by that. I don't think the situation in and of itself is necessarily concerning. And I think she's pretty clear that she's not really concerned about it. But she's saying basically what you just said. I didn't need to know that. That just makes me feel gross. Why would you tell me that? And especially because it wasn't just him being like, oh, the other day I actually went to almost call you this. It was him like, I'm going to tell you something crazy. It's probably going to make you angry. He literally says that. And then she says...
But it's exactly what you just did. They're married, right?
Yeah. But she says, if you're going to tell me something that's going to make me angry, maybe not right now because we're doing a nice thing together.
Yeah.
So it's not...
I think it's a classic, again, I mentioned this in our last episode, is like, I don't know what it is. For some reason, us guys, we get into this stage of like, this will be funny, but not really funny, but I'm still going to say it because it's still kind of funny. It's like, why are you saying it? Just shut up. Just shut your mouth. You don't need to try and be funny. It's this weird thing in our heads. It's not funny, but it kind of is, but it's not.
I really want to explore that more at some stage because I just don't get it.
I don't get it either, and I'm trying to.
But you do it, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm trying to unpack it now, and this is not a good place to unpack it because it won't make any sense. But no, absolutely, I want to unpack that too. Like, why do I do that? I know it bugs you.
What the heck is on with guys' brains?
Yeah, I know it bugs you, but I cannot stop from doing this right now.
Interesting.
And you've told me to stop.
But I can't.
But it's kind of funny, but it's not really funny. but I'm going to keep doing it.
If you have insights into this,
Help me.
please just send your insights.
Help
We'd
my
love to
poor
hear.
brain. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think overall this story, tame in terms of the motivation, tame in terms of the impact, maybe super unnecessary. And the irritating side of it is you didn't need to do that and you were warned not to do it and you still did it. So what is going on? So I think that would be the bigger conversation for me if I was in this situation. I would be like, why do you have to do this? Like, yes, be honest, but I literally warned you and you still did it anyway. And that's just not a nice feeling. It's not a loving, respectful, honoring feeling.
No.
As a spouse. So, yeah.
Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. Anyway, that was our quick, brief little Patreon one for this week. But thank you for joining us on Honey, We Need Chat.
Good chat.
Till next time.